Every single one of us has cancer cells quietly forming in our body right now. That may sound frightening, but here's the truth. Our body is equipped with a powerful defense system designed to keep those cells in check, to stop them before they ever become a disease. And the most fascinating discovery in modern science is that food, natural, everyday food, can play a direct role in helping our body do that. Not by killing cells like chemotherapy, but by starving them, cutting off their blood supply, and keeping them from growing. See, cancer doesn't appear overnight. It grows slowly, silently over time, feeding on the blood vessels that deliver oxygen and nutrients. Scientists have discovered a process called angiogenesis. It's how the body grows new blood vessels. Normally, this is a good thing. It helps heal wounds, it keeps organs nourished. But when cancer hijacks this process, it creates its own private blood supply, turning on a switch that allows it to grow and spread. And that's where nature comes in, because certain foods have the remarkable ability to turn that switch off. Imagine a world where your dinner plate becomes your medicine, where what you eat every day can help your body defend itself. That's not wishful thinking. It's backed by real science. Researchers have tested thousands of natural compounds and found that many common foods contain bioactive molecules that target those abnormal blood vessels, the lifelines of cancer. Let's start with something as simple as green tea. It's more than just a soothing drink. The catechins found in green tea have been shown in lab studies to inhibit angiogenesis, literally starving cancer cells by cutting off their fuel. And it's not just test tubes and theories. In population studies, people who regularly drink green tea have been shown to have lower risks of certain types of cancers. Then there are berries, blueberries, strawberries, raspberries. Their rich colors come from anthocyanins, natural chemicals that don't just make them beautiful, but biologically powerful. They protect our DNA, reduce inflammation, and shut down those rogue blood vessels that feed tumors. Every handful you eat is like sending microscopic soldiers into your body to defend your cells. Tomatoes hold another secret. The compound lycopene, responsible for their deep red color, has been shown to reduce the growth of cancer cells, particularly prostate cancer. But here's what's fascinating. Lycopene becomes more powerful when tomatoes are cooked. That means tomato sauce, soups, and even a drizzle of olive oil on top not only taste better, but also deliver stronger protection. And speaking of olive oil, the Mediterranean diet, which is rich in olive oil, fish, vegetables, and nuts, isn't just heart healthy. It's cancer fighting. The polyphenols in extra virgin olive oil work like nature's own anti-angiogenic therapy. Turmeric, the golden spice, has been used for thousands of years, and now science is catching up. The compound curcumin can block the molecular signals that cancer cells use to recruit blood vessels. Add a pinch of black pepper, and its absorption increases dramatically, turning a simple spice into a powerful defense tool. Even dark chocolate, yes, chocolate, can contribute to the fight. The flavonols in high-quality dark chocolate improve blood vessel function and have been found to suppress abnormal angiogenesis. Of course, it's all about quality and moderation, but nature has its delicious surprises. Now let's talk about something unexpected. Mushrooms. Certain varieties like shiitake, maytake, and reishi have compounds that stimulate the immune system and prevent new blood vessel formation around tumors. These are not exotic medicines. They're foods available in local markets, ready to become part of your kitchen routine. And what about cruciferous vegetables? Broccoli, kale, cabbage, Brussels sprouts. They contain sulforaphane, a compound that wakes up your body's detox enzymes and stops the growth of cancer stem cells, the ones that trigger relapse. These vegetables are like bodyguards at the cellular level, always on alert. Even soy, when eaten in natural, minimally processed forms like tofu or edamame, provides isoflavones that act as natural modulators of angiogenesis. It's not about eliminating foods. It's about choosing the right ones, the ones that help your body thrive. When scientists map these effects, the data tells a clear story. People who eat more of these foods, not supplements, not pills, but real food, have lower risks of developing cancers. And even when cancer is diagnosed, they tend to respond better to treatments. Food doesn't replace medicine, but it can make medicine work better. This is a revolution happening quietly on our plates. We used to think of food as just fuel, calories in, calories out. But it's far more powerful than that. Food is information. Every bite sends a signal to your cells, telling them either to protect you or to harm you. And when you choose the foods that starve cancer cells, you're choosing to strengthen your body's defense systems from the inside out. So the next time you stand in front of your fridge, realize this: your choices matter more than you think. Your fork can be your most powerful weapon. You don't need exotic cures or miracle diets. Nature has already given us what we need. The science is real, the results are measurable, and the hope is tangible. Because every time you eat, you're not just feeding yourself, you're feeding your future. When we talk about health, we often think of exercise, supplements, and medicines. But one of the most overlooked forms of self-care is right there in the food we eat every single day. It's not about trends or fad diets. It's about reconnecting with the intelligence of our own body, the incredible way it knows how to protect us, repair us, and even resist diseases like cancer when given the right tools. Those tools are not found in a laboratory. They're grown in soil, ripened by sunlight, and delivered to our tables through nature's design. Our body runs on balance. Every cell, every organ, every system works in harmony when we feed it well. But when we flood it with processed food, excess sugar, and artificial ingredients, that harmony gets disrupted. Inflammation rises, insulin spikes, oxidative stress increases. And that's when diseases begin to find opportunity. The process that allows cancer cells to thrive begins quietly, often years before a tumor is detected. But what's extraordinary is that we can influence that process at every stage. Even when genetic risk exists, the expression of those genes can be influenced by lifestyle, especially by food. Consider angiogenesis, the process that determines when and where blood vessels form. Under normal conditions, this process helps us heal. It helps new tissue grow after an injury. It keeps our organs nourished. But when the control of angiogenesis goes out of balance, too many blood vessels form, feeding diseases like cancer, obesity, and even Alzheimer's. Imagine cancer as a seed. It cannot grow without roots. Those roots are the blood vessels. Cut off those roots, and the seed cannot survive. That's what anti-angiogenic foods do. They don't attack healthy tissue, they simply normalize the process, restoring balance. Now let's look deeper into how everyday foods perform this life-saving task. Pomegranates, for example, are not just beautiful fruits. They contain ellagic acid and punicalagin, compounds shown to inhibit tumor blood vessel growth and reduce inflammation. In lab studies, pomegranate extract has slowed the progression of prostate and breast cancer cells. But what's more inspiring is that whole fruit, eaten fresh or as pure juice, provides a synergy of compounds that work together far more effectively than any single supplement. Then there's garlic, humble, pungent, and powerful. Its bioactive compounds, like allicin and dilyl sulfide, interfere with the chemical signals that cancer cells use to call for new blood vessels. Garlic doesn't just boost the immune system. It acts like a molecular interrupter, blocking cancer's call for help. When combined with other foods, like onions and leeks, its protective effects multiply. Leafy greens like spinach, kale, and arugula are rich in chlorophyll and antioxidants that sweep away free radicals before they damage DNA. In fact, the magnesium and folate found in these greens support the body's ability to repair cells and maintain proper gene function. Science shows that people who consume higher amounts of leafy greens have a significantly lower risk of developing colorectal and pancreatic cancers. This isn't coincidence. It's biology responding to nutrition. And we can't ignore nuts and seeds, nature's perfect packages of healthy fats, fiber, and micronutrients. Walnuts, for instance, contain omega-3 fatty acids and ellagic acid, both shown to reduce angiogenesis in tumors. Flax seeds are rich in lignans, plant estrogens that can help block hormone-sensitive cancers like breast cancer. Even pumpkin seeds, often discarded, are brimming with zinc and antioxidants that strengthen immune surveillance, helping your body recognize and destroy abnormal cells before they multiply. Beverages play a role too. Beyond green tea, coffee, in moderation and without excess sugar, has been shown to reduce the risk of liver and endometrial cancers. The chlorogenic acids in coffee help regulate blood sugar levels and reduce inflammation, creating an internal environment where cancer finds it harder to thrive. Think about red grapes, or more specifically, the compound resveratrol found in their skins. Resveratrol has been one of the most studied natural molecules for its anti-cancer potential. It not only reduces inflammation, but also cuts off the pathways cancer uses to grow blood vessels and spread. This is the same molecule found in moderate amounts in red wine, but you don't need alcohol to benefit. The grapes themselves are powerful enough. Nature also hides healing power in the sea. Sea vegetables like nori, wakame, and kelp are rich in iodine and fucoidan, compounds that have shown promise in slowing cancer cell growth and supporting immune function. In Japan, where seaweed consumption is common, cancer rates in certain organs are among the lowest in the world. Now let's turn to spices, those seemingly small ingredients that pack immense biological power. Cinnamon, for example, helps regulate blood sugar, and stable blood sugar reduces the insulin spikes that fuel cancer growth. Ginger contains gingerol, a compound that suppresses angiogenesis and enhances detoxification. In cell studies, ginger extract has been shown to induce cancer cell death while leaving normal cells unharmed, something most synthetic drugs cannot do. Then there's black cumin seed, known for centuries as a healing spice. Modern research has found that thymoquinone, its active component, can reduce tumor size and prevent the spread of cancer cells by interrupting their ability to form new vessels. A teaspoon a day in warm water or sprinkled over food isn't just a cultural tradition. It's a scientifically supported act of protection. What's remarkable about these foods is how they work together. No single ingredient is a cure-all, but when combined, in soups, salads, teas, or meals, they create a network of defense. It's like a symphony where each note supports the other, producing harmony in the body. Fermented foods like yogurt, kefir, kimchi, and sauerkraut are another key player. They restore balance to the gut microbiome, the collection of trillions of bacteria that influence our immunity, our metabolism, and even our risk for cancer. A healthy gut produces short-chain fatty acids like butyrate, which can suppress tumor growth in the colon and maintain the integrity of the gut lining. When the gut is balanced, the immune system becomes sharper, better able to detect and destroy abnormal cells. The link between diet and immunity is more profound than most people realize. Around 70% of our immune system resides in the gut. What we feed our gut bacteria directly affects how our immune cells perform. Fiber, rich foods like beans, lentils, oats, and whole grains act as prebiotics. They nourish beneficial bacteria, strengthen the immune barrier, and reduce inflammation throughout the body. That's why diets high in fiber consistently correlate with lower cancer rates across populations. Even fruits that seem too sweet, like oranges, kiwis, and papayas, contain compounds that neutralize oxidative stress. Vitamin C, abundant in these fruits, supports collagen formation and helps prevent the damage that allows cancer cells to penetrate surrounding tissues. The enzymes in papaya and pineapple, papain and bromelain, help reduce inflammation and enhance digestion, easing the body's detox processes. Beets, with their deep crimson hue, contain beta-cyanin, a pigment that supports liver detoxification and has shown anti-tumor effects in lab studies. The liver is the body's filtration system, and when it functions optimally, toxins and potential carcinogens are efficiently eliminated before they can do harm. Science is now showing that the timing of what we eat also plays a role in cancer prevention. Allowing the body periods of rest through intermittent fasting or simply avoiding late-night eating helps cells repair and triggers a process called autophagy, where old or damaged cells are cleared out. When this process functions well, precancerous cells are less likely to survive. When you think about it, nature has already provided the blueprint for disease prevention. Every color, texture, and flavor in real food serves a biological purpose. Red foods like tomatoes and watermelon are rich in lycopene. Orange and yellow foods like carrots and squash carry carotenoids that protect DNA. Green vegetables provide chlorophyll and sulforaphane. Blue and purple foods like berries and eggplants are packed with anthocyanins. Each color is a signal, a visual indicator of the healing chemistry inside. Our ancestors may not have had scientific terminology, but they understood something profound. Food was their first medicine. They observed that certain herbs healed wounds faster, certain teas eased fevers, and certain diets prolonged life. Modern science is finally validating that ancient wisdom. The molecules we isolate in laboratories, many of our drugs, were originally discovered in plants. Nature designed them first. We're only rediscovering what's been here all along. Even citrus peel, something most people throw away, contains limonene, a natural compound that detoxifies carcinogens and protects the liver. The zest of an orange or lemon added to meals isn't just for flavor, it's adding molecular defense. When we look across different cultures, the pattern repeats itself. Populations with traditional diets, rich in vegetables, whole grains, herbs, and fish, consistently have lower cancer rates. It's not luck or genetics alone, it's lifestyle. The Mediterranean diet, the Okinawan diet, the Nordic diet all share the same foundation: minimally processed plant-based, nutrient-dense food. But this isn't about eating perfectly. It's about progress. It's about making small, consistent choices that support your body's natural intelligence. Swapping soda for green tea, adding berries to breakfast, replacing refined grains with whole ones, using turmeric and olive oil when cooking, choosing color over monotony. Each small decision adds up, creating a biological shift inside your body, a shift that science can now measure in blood tests, imaging, and gene expression. When you eat foods that starve cancer, you're also eating foods that help your heart, your brain, your skin, and your mood. The same compounds that prevent tumors also improve blood flow, reduce cholesterol, stabilize mood, and sharpen memory. Nature doesn't compartmentalize healing. It offers holistic protection. And the beauty of it all is that it's accessible. You don't need expensive supplements or exotic imports. You just need real food. Food that grows from the earth, that your grandmother would recognize, that doesn't need a label or a commercial. Every tomato, every berry, every leaf of spinach carries information your body understands. Your body isn't waiting for miracles, it's waiting for nutrients. Every time you sit down to eat, you have the chance to influence your biology, to turn off the switches that feed disease and turn on the ones that promote vitality. The science is undeniable. Food is power. Power to prevent, to protect, to heal, and yes, to starve cancer cells before they ever threaten your life. When you begin to understand that every meal is a message to your body, something inside you changes. You stop eating just to fill your stomach. You start eating to nourish your life. And that's the point where food transforms from something ordinary into something powerful. Because the food we choose is not just shaping our energy levels for the day. It's shaping our biology, our immunity, and even the destiny of our cells. A cancer is not just one disease, it's a collection of many different ones, all driven by uncontrolled cell growth. But beneath that complexity lies a simple truth. Cancer cells need fuel, they need oxygen, nutrients, and a blood supply to grow. If we can cut off that supply, we weaken them before they can cause harm. That's what anti-angiogenic foods do. They starve tumors naturally. And unlike drugs that often have side effects, these foods nourish the rest of the body at the same time. They protect, repair, and restore balance. One of the fascinating discoveries in modern nutritional science is how plant compounds communicate with our genes. This field, called nutrigenomics, studies how food literally talks to DNA, turning some genes on and others off. In the case of cancer, certain foods can suppress the genes that promote tumor growth while activating those that suppress it. For example, the compound sulforaphane found in broccoli sprouts doesn't just neutralize toxins, it reprograms genes that protect cells from damage. Even tiny doses of these foods, taken consistently, have profound long-term effects. In a study on people who consumed green tea regularly, scientists found that key markers of blood vessel growth were significantly reduced compared to those who didn't. It wasn't a pill or a drug, it was a cup of tea. Another study showed that women who ate more tomatoes had higher levels of lycopene in their blood, and those with the highest levels had lower risks of breast and prostate cancer. It's evidence like this that shows nature's design is not random, it's intelligent. But it's not only plants. Certain fish, particularly those rich in omega-3 fatty acids like salmon, sardines, and mackerel, have been shown to suppress inflammatory pathways that fuel cancer growth. Omega-3s help regulate angiogenesis and strengthen cell membranes, making it harder for tumors to invade. When paired with antioxidant-rich vegetables, the synergy between them multiplies. This is why traditional diets that include both plant foods and fish tend to have the lowest cancer rates. Herbs. Those small, fragrant leaves we often overlook are among nature's most concentrated sources of healing compounds. Rosemary contains carnosol, which has been shown to interfere with cancer signaling pathways. Parsley and celery carry apigenin, which can slow the spread of certain cancer cells and help normalize angiogenesis. Basil provides eugenol, which protects DNA and reduces oxidative stress. These herbs are not just garnishes, they are medicine disguised as flavor. Even something as ordinary as apple peels holds anti-cancer potential. The outer skin contains triterpenoids, natural compounds that block tumor growth. When you eat the whole fruit rather than peeled slices, You're feeding your body compounds that scientists are only beginning to understand. The microbiome, that invisible ecosystem inside your gut, also plays a major role in cancer prevention. A disrupted gut environment can lead to chronic inflammation, and inflammation is like fertilizer for cancer cells. But when we eat a diet rich in plant fiber, the gut bacteria produce compounds like butyrate, propionate, and acetate, short-chain fatty acids that protect the colon and regulate immune responses. Studies have found that people with a diverse gut microbiome have lower cancer risks and better outcomes during treatment. That's the reason traditional diets, full of legumes, fruits, and vegetables, are so effective at maintaining long-term health. Let's also look at berries again, because they are more than a simple snack. The dark pigments in blueberries, called anthocyanins, do more than give them color. They help stabilize DNA, stop new blood vessels from forming around tumors, and reduce oxidative damage. In experiments, a blueberry extract reduced the size of cancerous growths in animals by nearly 60%. But the real power of berries comes from consistency. A handful a day, over years, creates measurable differences in health outcomes. Apples, pears, and plums contain quercetin, a flavonoid known to fight inflammation and oxidative stress. Quercetin has also been found to make cancer cells more sensitive to treatment, helping therapies work more effectively. Food and medicine, once thought separate, are now seen as allies in the same fight. One of the most exciting findings in recent research is how fasting or time, restricted eating can influence cancer biology. When the body is in a fasted state, insulin levels drop and a process called autophagy is triggered, where old, damaged, or precancerous cells are broken down and recycled. It's like the body's internal cleaning service. Combined with an anti-angiogenic diet, fasting enhances the protective mechanisms that keep cells young and healthy. People often ask, can food really make that much of a difference? And the answer, based on evidence, is yes, but only when practiced as a way of life, not as a quick fix. It's not about eating one superfood once a week. It's about creating a pattern of nourishment. Our body doesn't respond to single moments. It responds to habits. Consider soy. Decades ago, it was misunderstood and even feared. But now we know that natural soy, like tofu, temp, or edamame, contains phytoestrogens that actually block the harmful forms of estrogen that can promote cancer. In culture, soy is eaten regularly from a young age. Breast and prostate cancer rates are significantly lower. The key is moderation in choosing unprocessed forms. Let's talk about mushrooms again, because their role in immune regulation is extraordinary. Compounds like beta-glucans found in shiitake, maitake, and reishi mushrooms activate natural killer cells, the body's front-line defense against cancer. These immune cells patrol your body, looking for abnormal cells and destroying them before they can take root. Traditional medicine in Asia has long valued mushrooms for longevity and vitality, and now Western science confirms what ancient healers always knew. Turmeric, with its golden color, deserves special attention. Curcumin, its active compound, is one of the most powerful anti-inflammatory agents known. It interferes with multiple molecular targets. It reduces the signals that cancer cells use to grow. It inhibits angiogenesis and enhances apoptosis, the process by which damaged cells self-destruct. Yet, to unlock its power, a curcumin needs help. A pinch of black pepper and a healthy fat like olive oil increase absorption dramatically. That's the beauty of food synergy. Nature designed these ingredients to work together, not in isolation. Another quiet warrior in your kitchen is onion. Onions contain quercetin and sulfur compounds that detoxify carcinogens and prevent the formation of nitrosamines, substances linked to stomach and colon cancer. When you chop onions, the enzymes that create their strong smell are also creating chemical defenses. And when you eat them, those same compounds strengthen your own defenses. If you think of food as information, then processed food is misinformation, confusing your body, altering your metabolism, and silencing your natural healing mechanisms. Real food, on the other hand, speaks your body's language. It tells your cells when to grow, when to rest, when to repair, and when to defend. Imagine your bloodstream as a river. Every time you eat, you're adding something to that river. Nutrients, chemicals, or toxins. If that river runs clean, your organs flourish. If it's polluted, disease finds a way to grow. Anti-angiogenic foods are like natural filters, keeping that river pure and strong. Beets, carrots, and sweet potatoes are examples of root vegetables that feed this process. Their natural pigments, beta-cyanine and carotenoids, have antioxidant effects that protect the lining of blood vessels and inhibit cancer cell proliferation. They also stabilize blood sugar, which is crucial because high insulin levels can stimulate cancer growth. Let's not forget cruciferous vegetables. Broccoli, flower, kale, and cabbage. They are among the most potent cancer-fighting foods known. When you chew them, an enzyme reaction produces sulforaphane and indole-3 carbonyl, compounds that deactivate carcinogens and stimulate detoxification enzymes in the liver. Studies show that people who consume these vegetables several times a week have dramatically lower risks of lung, colon, and breast cancers. In one remarkable study, women who ate a diet rich in cruciferous vegetables after being diagnosed with breast cancer had a 62% reduction in the risk of recurrence. That's not from a drug, that's from food. Real food with measurable biological power. Then there are legumes: beans, lentils, chickpeas. They are high in fiber, which binds to toxins in the digestive tract and helps eliminate them. They also provide plant-based proteins that are less inflammatory than animal protein. Studies show that people who consume more legumes have lower insulin resistance, less inflammation, and reduced cancer risk. Even grains, when whole and unrefined, contribute to the fight. Brown rice, oats, quinoa, and barley contain lignans and phenolic acids that help control angiogenesis and inflammation. What's interesting is that traditional cultures that consume whole grains rather than refined flour consistently have lower cancer rates. Science has begun to map the effects of these foods at the cellular level. Researchers can now see, under a microscope, how compounds from foods like berries or garlic cause cancer cells to self-destruct. They've observed blood vessel formation slowing down in response to green tea polyphenols. They've measured gene expression changes triggered by broccoli compounds. What once sounded like folklore has now become data. But beyond the science, there's something deeply human about this discovery. It reminds us that healing doesn't always have to come from something synthetic. It can come from something alive. From the earth, from what we plant, cook, and share. It's not about fear of disease, it's about empowerment. When we eat real food, we reconnect with that natural intelligence. We begin to feel more energy, a better focus, clearer skin, calmer digestion, small signs that the body is thriving. Over time, those small signs add up to resilience, the kind of inner strength that can resist disease before it even starts. Food that starves cancer doesn't just protect the body. It transforms the mind. It changes how we think about eating. Every meal becomes an act of self-respect. Every bite becomes a choice for life. And when we start to see food this way, we no longer feel at war with our health. We feel in partnership with it. This is not just about longevity, it's about vitality. About waking up each morning knowing that your choices are aligned with your body's wisdom. Because when you feed your body with foods that heal, you're not only living longer, you're living better, stronger, and more connected to the power that nature intended for you. So when you look at your plate, don't just see food, see your future, see your medicine, see your defense system waiting to be activated. Because every bite you take is a choice, either to feed disease or to fight it. The power to protect yourself doesn't lie in some distant lab or in expensive treatment. It lies in the simple, natural foods that the earth has already given you. This isn't about fear, it's about freedom. The freedom to live in a body that protects you, the freedom to take control of your health, the freedom to believe that your choices matter. When you choose foods that starve cancer cells, you're not just eating differently, you're living differently. You're standing with your body instead of against it. So the next time you sit down to eat, remember your fork is your weapon, your kitchen is your pharmacy, and your body is the greatest healer you will ever have. Give it what it needs, and it will do what it was designed to do: defend you, restore you, and help you live the life you were meant to live. Strong, vibrant, and free.